So good afternoon, my name is Luis Guzmán. I'm an artist working in the intersection of art, biology, and space technology. So today I'm going to present a little bit about my work, as well as some core concepts of my paper titled Technoplasticity of Aerospace Technology, Art Practice as Space Exploration, which is a theoretical framework to support the incorporation of arts into the aerospace field. So, yes, my journey into space started in 2020 when I got selected by the director of the MIT Space Exploration Initiative to develop a project on board of the International Space Station as part of the Sojourner 2020 payload. This payload had the capacity of simulating lunar and Martian gravities. So I was really interested into exploring the possibilities of space technology for transforming life. And I also was really interested into the possibility of creating extraterrestrial life. So my project was titled Bioarchitectural Cosmology and consisted on growing marine diatoms of the genus Phaeodactylum tricornutum into a lunar simulated gravity environment. So after a month of growing and replicating under lunar gravity conditions in the Columbus module, I got about 30 generations of space diatoms that could be considered as extraterrestrials. So I was interested in both the ontological but also the morphological differences of my space diatoms compared to their counterparts on Earth. So this is due to the capacity of Phaeodactylum tricornutum into changing its morphology, so it can change between three possible morphotypes. And I got all of the three morphotypes in my returning sample, but also some of them were kind of in between. So that was really interesting for exploring the ecological, but also the evolutionary implications of space technology. So these are some of the diatoms there. You can see they're very different. This project happened in 2020, so unfortunately it was only presented in a virtual modality in Ars Electronica, but later on it took the form of multimedia installations presented in Chile and in Spain. So one aspect of this project that was really interested in terms of the development was that the original payload didn't have the capacity of launching biology because the small chambers were intended for sending objects only. So I developed a small chamber that was specially adapted to take biology and also liquids because I was working with marine water as well. And that brought me to initiate a collaboration with the Space and Planetary Exploration Laboratory at the University of Chile. So I was included in a scientific team for the development of biological projects looking into the development of extremophile organisms in space. So this project was integrated in a CubeSat called PlanetSat that was launched in April 2022, and it took with it several cultures of extremophile organisms from Chile, ranging from the Atacama Desert all the way down to Antarctica. So this project also brought me further insights into the ecological implications of space. So now I'm working in a second BioArt project, also due to be launched to the ISS in February 2025. In this opportunity, I'm collaborating also with SPEL, but also with a team of biochemists from Cornell University. And this project is titled The Angel of History. and is conceptually anchored on the critical idea about progress by philosopher Walter Benjamin. So it looks to articulate three of the most disruptive technologies of our time, which are space technology, biotechnology, and artificial intelligence. So in practical terms, what we're doing is that we are encoding digital information into DNA. So what you can do is that you have DNA that is 4 letters, and you move into binary code, and then into text. So we did it the other way around. We started with text, and then we moved into binary code, and then into DNA. So we have these molecular words that are going to be released once they achieve microgravity conditions, and they're going to be free to connect in these different possible ways, creating longer sequences of code that represent messages or sentences. So once we retrieve those messages from space, they are going to be incorporated in an AI system for the creation of video and images. So we are going to have these visions created due to the cosmological forces in play, and also due to space technology. So this project is looking into creating visions about the future of humanity, given our current context in terms of technological acceleration, and also tensions in the geopolitical and the ecological level. And one aspect that I'm really happy about is that I got to design the system for releasing the DNA. So there's also an element of innovation there that is produced originally from an artistic initiative, but also has technical and scientific applications. So now I'm going to move into the second half of my presentation, which is about the paper that I presented for this Congress. And well, it's a theoretical framework that looks to articulate what's happening and how can we look into the epistemological role of the arts in the context of space, science, and technology. So to do so, I start by looking into the work of the German existential philosopher Martin Heidegger, who has a fundamental theorization of technology and as well as in the arts. So he traces back technology and art to a common root, which is the Greek concept of techne. And techne is a way in which truth is revealed by our manipulation of nature. So we are capable of opening up something about nature due to our technological activities. So this is really important because it speaks about the epistemological element that is already embedded into the arts. Well, techne has two modalities. One modality is called alethea, and alethea speaks of the capacity of accessing the essence about the phenomena that we are encountering. So this could be either nature or the cosmos or even human beings. But it's a way in which technology allows us to get in contact and express the essence of that phenomena. And this is the case, for example, of cosmological observatories, for instance, where we can get to access the universe through technological means. But there is another modality which is called gestel, and gestel opposes to alethea by organizing nature and everything, including humans, solely in terms of resources that could be exploited. So this is a very important tension that is central to any technology, but is really relevant in the context of space technology because it's already present there. So the second idea that I want to present here is the idea of Radix-Lucis. And Radix-Lucis speaks of a mutual revelation between Dasein, meaning us, and being, meaning what exists. So this process of mutual revelation is central to overcome the subject-object dichotomy that is embedded into the scientific Western tradition. And one example is the overview effect, for instance, when a person is put into lower orbit and is capable of observing the planet from above, but in this act of observation, something about this person is transformed. Internally, this person goes through a change in terms of their frame of reference. So, and the third idea also speaks, the case is that the arts have the potential of expanding both the aletheia and the erectness present already in space science, the science and technology. So my question is, can we think of space technology as clay? And from that clay, can we create new organs to experience the cosmos? So this is where the idea of technoplasticity comes into play. And technoplasticity is a way in which art could interact with any technology, but it's really relevant in the case of space technology because it represents the necessity for the arts to update by incorporating principles from space engineering. So methods, tools, and testing processes that artists need to understand in order to access space. So, well, in conclusion, my paper speaks about the epistemological role of art. Art as world-making, as a world-making tool, and also about the idea of technoplasticity, which is materialized in artworks that could be designed to perform in space. So we are speaking about artworks that are designed on Earth, but according to engineering principles. Also, the integration of art and in-order manufacturing, so how artists can access and understand the capabilities that are enabled by microgravity conditions. Also, well, in the third place, but not least, is the art and remote sensing. So we're speaking about installations and art projects that are enabled by satellite sensors or sensors that are in lower orbit, like in the case of the International Space Station, and obviously the work of installations that use facilities, scientific facilities like cosmological observatories, for instance. So that's everything from me today. Thank you for your time.